I'm Eric Levitt, guard at Florida International University from Mobile, Alabama.
Love it for the tie! Ah! For tie!
The thing that made me fall in love with basketball, I just have so much fun. Like when I'm playing basketball, like just worry-free. I decided that's really what I wanted to play probably around, I want to say 8th grade. First time I actually tried out, made the team. This team is like really like close-knit, tight and everything, because it even extends to the coaches. It's like a close-knit brotherhood. They do the best to make you the best player that you could be while you're here. I want to be remembered as one of the key players on that first tournament run in a long time. As one of the best shooters to come through FIU. To the FIU fans, thank y'all for coming out all season. I really like the atmosphere when we playing and try to make it run, make y'all proud this season.
For 25 years, Conference USA student athletes have done things the only way that we know how, the CUSA way. In that quarter of a century, we've learned a thing or two about winning, both on and off the field. Our student athletes are more than just great athletes. They're fantastic students, and they're outstanding citizens who give back to their communities. We're committed to excellence. We are stronger together. That's the CUSA way.
A picture-perfect day on the campus of FIU as we resume another edition of Panther Talk Live at the GC. We appreciate you joining us every other Monday on Facebook Live, and we welcome you back to campus as the spring semester rolls on. Always a pleasure to be joined by the FIU swim coach Randy Horner, who's just back from Atlanta as of yesterday, and so is this trophy, which has made its permanent residence off 8th Street for now 6 consecutive years. Coach, the CUSA Swim Coach of the Year named this week, and first of all, congratulations on another championship. It's par for the course here at FIU, though no one's taking it for granted. 6 straight Conference USA championships now for FIU Swim and Dive. That's a Conference USA record, which breaks a record that FIU had tied for previously. So, Coach, I want to start off by saying, number one, congratulations, and number two, how does the 6th straight feel for you?
It feels awesome. You know, again, it's been a long journey to get to 6, and you had to do 5 first. So, you know, the ladies were focused all year. You know, it was definitely one of our goals, and it feels great to, you know, get to the finish line and do what we were aiming to do for the season.
Yeah, I imagine each one is unique. It's special. Each team has its own personality. What made this year different and special for the group?
You know, after last year's championship, we felt like there was a lot of things we could do a lot better. So we went back to the drawing board from day one, did a lot of things different, a lot of things better, paid attention to details. The competitiveness of this team from day one was, you know, a lot different. We really upped the intensity. And it showed. You know, it came down the stretch, and what they were able to do at the championship was a reflection of what we did since August. And you know, it was just a really special group, a very big team effort across the board. Wasn't a championship by stars. It was won by an entire team effort, which was amazing.
That's an interesting point you make there. You win 5 straight conference championships, but you noted we thought there were a lot of things that we could improve, that we could do better. How do you avoid that complacency, that contentment among a group that experiences so much success? And it's not just at the conference level. You guys have been nationals plenty of times. How do you avoid that complacency? And you mentioned the competitiveness. What were the kind of things you were looking to improve after winning 5 straight? Yeah.
Well, it is human nature to be complacent, you know, once you've had some success. And we definitely fell into that, we felt like, last year. And, you know, that was one of the things we felt like we had to do better, and we addressed it, and we definitely were back on the right track this year. You know, just little things like whether it be, you know, nutrition or sleep, taking care of each other, holding teammates accountable, you know, being to practice on time, giving 100% focused efforts on a daily basis. Because, you know, when you're waking up at, you know, 5 a.m. every morning, it's very easy to kind of get into the grind and forget why you're there and what the focus is, and is it worth it? And, you know, we did a little bit better job, I think, of focusing the team and keeping that effort pointed in the direction to be successul at the end.
It's hard to be on time every day at 5 a.m., I'm sure, but it gets tough. It might happen every now. Let's talk about the meet and day one from the start. You guys got off to a great start on day one. Won the 200 medley relay, the 800 free relay. You headed into day 2 already with 80 points, and I'm sure you loved how the team set the tone from the very start and what you were trying to do.
Yeah, the 2 medley relay, we've never lost at Conference USA since we've won our first championship. That's been a run and a streak that we've been very proud of. So it's always great to start off the meet with that. We feel like we're very, you know, a good program with that event. And the 800 free relay, on the other hand, Rice beat us by 10 seconds last year, and they had all 4 people back from last year's team that did that, and we were definitely the underdog, but the ladies stepped up, swam fast, and did an amazing job to start out the championship with 2 victories, and that definitely gets the momentum going. And, we just kind of feed off that then going into day 2.
Yeah, it was a closely contested race, and again, coming off last year from 10 seconds to a tightly contested win here, that'll get the juices flowing, especially on day 1 at conference. I want to spotlight the swimmer of the meet and the diver of meet, both, of course, FIU Panthers. Stephanie Hussey, with the co-swimmer of the meet, took the gold in the 200 fly A final, among other things. Bandy Song, the CUSA diver, and keep in mind, Maha Gouda represented us at Nationals last year, and now you just add more depth with Mandy. You could just speak to their performances and what they were able to do.
Yeah, and Steph was sick all week too. Did everything that she did this performance. I just saw her actually right now, and she's still trying to recover from what she came down with last week. So it's a testament to her heart, her desire, and what she did to step up and swim as fast as she did, all weekend long. She's one of our best, and she's definitely became a rallying point for the team to kind of come around. She does some of the tougher events as well.
Yeah.
But amazing performance. And then Mandy's new to the team, joined us in late December. And one addition. She's been a great addition, not just because she's a great diver, but as a great person, a great teammate. When you have more and more national level divers, it's just creating a little bit raised element for the entire team. And like you mentioned, Maha, she's a returning All-American on platform, was also an NCAA qualifier on springboard. And now with those 2, and then also with Rachel Ford, we feel like the whole group has raised the element. And then you also have 2 seniors with Brooke Bouchard and Brittany Haskell, 2 amazing seniors that have finished off their career very strong, and then Caitlin Fredericks, who was solid at the championship too. So it's really a 1 through 6, not just a star at the top of the diving program. But Nick has done an amazing job growing that program this year.
Yeah, I was going to spotlight. We talked about the additions to the program. How about Nick Yang coming in and the job he's been able to do since Rio headed up to Alabama, and Nick, the diving coach of the year and Conference USA after this week. And just what an awesome addition to the FIU swim.
Yeah, he's been great from day 1. When we lost Rio, that's a big loss to the program. But Nick has picked right up where Rio left off. He's grown the program. He's brought in additional recruits. He's really built a great relationship with the divers on the program, and everybody is better than they've ever been, which is what you're always looking to do. But no, he's a great addition. We're excited to have him, and happy to see him get accolades for his success as his first year.
Was there any moments or sequence, performance, whether it was a relay or an individual performance, that really stood out in this championship meet, whether it was someone unexpectedly rising their level of performance, or just the standouts, put them in their place kind of performance? What stood out at conference?
2 of the biggest highlights, I would say, would be the 100 breaststroke, where we swept the podium. Took them 1, 2, 3, which was, not to say unexpected, but not
always
easy to achieve, and get up there and put 3 girls under a minute in a minute flat area. And then 2, I'd say the biggest surprise performance was Michaela Turnkova in the 100 backstroke. We didn't see that coming. We knew she was going to be fast. We knew she was going to be up there, but 53 in the 100 backstroke is moving, and she did it out of one of the outside lanes. She shocked herself as well, but it's great to see someone like that works so hard, is such a great person and great athlete, to just break through and have that moment, and great for the team.
And you know what? You don't get to 6 straight conference championships without a couple of those surprises and people raising their level. And that's pretty awesome as a coach.
Like I said, it's a team effort. If people aren't stepping up and doing those things, we don't win.
No, absolutely not. All right, a couple things moving forward here as we wrap up with Coach. Season's certainly not over. There's more to go. Tell us what's upcoming, your schedule for the girls. I know zones, I think, is the next step, but where do you go from here? What's your routine for them at post-conference championship, when now you're really starting to try to peak?
Yep, so all 6 divers are qualified for the NCAA Zone Championships, which is going to be in Athens, Georgia, at the University of Georgia. They take off Saturday morning, and they compete next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for their chance to continue on to the NCAA Championships and represent. We like our chances. We got people in good spots, and we're wishing them all the best. We have 12 swimmers that'll go on to the National Invitational Championship, which is like the NIT for swimming. That starts next week, which will be next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in Cleveland, Ohio. So we'll have that team going on. And then, we have various other athletes, continuing to train since it's an Olympic year, looking to make cuts, looking to make times to move on internationally as well. So, you know, we've got a lot going on, and we have actually practice here in about 15 minutes. So
We'll let you go to practice. Don't want to keep you. Last thing, where will this one go?
That's a good question.
You guys have a trophy case, or do you spread it around?
Yeah,
Where's it going?
We don't really have a home for our trophies, which is one of the things we need to fix right now.
I would say so.
You know, if anybody out there wants to make a donation to give us a trophy case, that would be awesome. We got 4 of them in our diving coach's office, 1 in Julie Berg's office, and this one was sitting by the fax machine before we brought it over here today. So we're looking to maybe get a shelf built in the hallway and get a nice old display, because, you know, with 6 of them, it's worthwhile putting them out where everybody can see them.
Well, maybe make it like the Stanley Cup, like one swimmer gets it for the weekend, and then you switch and rotate.
Sure.
That might be dangerous.
Yeah.
Coach, congratulations on 6.
Okay.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right, Rita Buck-Crockett will join us after the break. You're watching Panther Talk Live on Facebook.
I'm Osaso Osagai, center for Florida International University from Nigeria. I'm a competitor, so once I started getting a little bit better, I just wanted to be the best version of myself. The energy, the feel, just the communication, connections that we build on and off the court is just a whole different feel to it. I mean, I'm very close with all the coaches. They're very comfortable. The doors are always open. The energy, the liveliness of the coaches and stuff like that, it breathes a lot of energy into us as players. I can attest to the brotherhood of this program just by the fact of how close we are. I'm very close with a lot of the players. And those are no longer my teammates, they're my brothers. I hope to leave my mark as just one that people look up to and see as somebody who worked hard from my early days as a walk-on to earning a scholarship under Coach Ballard. I just want to be remembered and make my name something important to FIU, because FIU is definitely important
to me. Food is indeed the language of love. This one, she likes you. She likes your la lechonera, my friend. La lechonera is the spark of love. Your spark of love is powerful. Powerful indeed, my friend. La lechonera, the original mojo criollo. Obey the pig.
I'm Damon Kittishawn Carrigan, forward at Florida International University from Boston, Massachusetts. What made me fall in love with the sport of basketball was its competitiveness. It's one of the only sports that I know that can go from a team sport to an individual making such an impact on it. What I can say about the brotherhood of my team right now is a lot. We're a whole bunch of different characters that fit well together. You see it on the court, we flow together very well. It's just a fast motion, pace. It's like poetry when I'm with my brothers. My relationship with the coaching staff here at Florida International has been great so far. They have your back here 100%. They treat you like family. All I want for myself is just to be the best I possibly can be. FIU is a great place to be. Consider it home already. Love Miami. Only thing I want to say to our fans is be on notice.
For 25 years, Conference USA student athletes have done things the only way that we know how, the CUSA way. In that quarter of a century, we've learned a thing or two about winning, both on and off the field. Our student athletes are more than just great athletes. They're fantastic students, and they're outstanding citizens who give back to their communities. We're committed to excellence. We are stronger together. That's the CUSA way.
I'm Eric Levitt, guard at Florida International University from Mobile, Alabama.
Love it for the tie! Ah! For tie!
The thing that made me fall in love with basketball, I just have so much fun. Like when I'm playing basketball, like just worry free. I decided that's really what I wanted to play probably around, I want to say 8th grade. First time I actually tried out, made the team. This team is like really like close knit, tight and everything, because it even extends to the coaches. It's like a close knit brotherhood. They do the best to make you the best player that you could be while you're here. I want to be remembered as one of the key players on that first tournament run in a long time. As one of the best shooters to come through FIU. To the FIU fans, thank y'all for coming out all season. I really like the atmosphere when we playing and try to make it run, make y'all proud this season.
Back to the Graham Center here, Panther Talk Live, now joined by Rita Buck-Crockett. Coach, always a pleasure to have you alongside us on the program. Been a little bit, good to have you back. You've been busy.
Yes, yes.
Let's start with this past weekend. You go 4-0 here at your home tournament. Always nice to take care of business, even though there may be some stressful moments throughout, but you take care of business this weekend. What were you happy about with this home tournament?
What I really liked is how we fought for our home court, and you know, we've been playing with these teams and making sure that they're gelling and all the personalities are going well together, and the girls they've just taken it and run with it. Yeah. They're very resilient. We had an upset last week. We got upset, and from there we just haven't skipped a beat. Sure. So they're really working hard, and they were so proud to be able to play at home, see so many faces come watch us. So it was great.
Now, Weber, New Orleans, Missouri State, and Tampa, the four opponents this weekend, and I don't think any of those opponents got more than one match in those games. What'd you like from your top pairing, I think Federica and Margarita? You know, what makes them successful together?
They know each other. I mean, they've played together for 4 years. They're All-Americans. They carry themselves in a way that's we're going to win. Yeah. There's never any doubt in their mind, and that gives them those few extra points that they need if they are very, tight with someone else. So they're just, they just match. They gel really well together, and they come to win. That's what they do.
How nice is it? I'm sure you're glad you were coaching her in the fall. She was around the program, but to have Margarita competing again is, I'm sure, a boost for your mental mindset.
Yes. I mean, she's a tough competitor. Yeah. When she's even if it's practice and you're doing a silly game, she wants to win. And that's why she's All-American. Because it's like, if I'm going to play, I'm going to win. I'm going to play to win. So.
Yeah. No, you need people like that on your roster.
Exactly.
That mentality. Coach, what adjustments did you? When you looked at the tape of Georgia State, you mentioned it was a tough start. You were upset, but now you've had as good a response as you can have since then, taking care of the competition. But what did you tell your team? Like, we were doing this wrong. Let's get this on track here.
Well, the first thing I said to them is, it's not where you start; it's where you finish. Yeah. And it's the beginning of the season. It was the beginning. First day, it was like 40 degrees, 30. 30 degrees wind chill factor, 22-mile-an-hour winds. Yes, of course, the other team has to play in that, but they practice in it. So
we
it
don't.
was
We
we
do
had
not.
we had a lot of things going on
Yeah.
there. You know, it reminded
Extenuating
me of the
circumstances.
iguanas that are stuck on the trees, and then
Your
when it
players were kinda
freezes,
frozen.
they just kind of fall. So, yeah, it took us a minute to kind of figure out what was going on, and we made some changes. Um, in the teams, we mixed up the teams, and they just seemed to gel better together.
Yeah.
So we've been going with those teams, and I think we have 4 solid, strong teams, and we have 2 teams that are still, you know, kind of battling over a position.
Sure.
And we'll see how it goes. You know.
Well, you know, if you're going to have one that's regrettable, it's the first match of the season.
Yeah.
So much time.
You can only go up from there.
Yeah, better during that point of the year than maybe right before the selection committee takes their opinions into consideration for the tournament. Coach, always love talking about one of the best home tournaments in the country in our unbiased opinion. South Beach. And you take a look at, you know, I know it's at the end of the month, March 27th is when that'll kick off, but it's really one of the more unique tournaments in all of beach volleyball. And you're going to have such a great level of competition coming here. I'm looking at the schedule here. UCLA, TCU, Stanford, Pepperdine, Cal, just a few of the names that'll make their way to Loomis Park. I know it's such a great environment for the athletes and you guys to switch things up here from the beach courts and head down to South Beach and the international flair, and it's a celebration of the sport.
It is. Yeah. It is. It is the largest and best collegiate beach tournament in the country.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be in it. You know, that's why this year we went to 3 days, because we had so many phone calls about different schools. We want to get in that tournament.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, can we do 3 days?
Let's logistically, what can we do?
Yeah, what can we do here? So, you know, thank goodness our event management and our athletic director approved to do the 3 days, and we're going with it. So, the more the merrier.
And for all those other schools, especially West Coast, for the players, it's like a second spring break there at the end of March. There's some extra motivation to get down to Miami. And for us, it's just, well, summer's around the corner too.
Exactly.
Spring break all the time. All right, Coach, as we start to finish up, taking another look at the schedule. So you got Palm Beach Atlantic March 10th, so a little bit of a break after this tournament, and then you head up to Columbia for the Carolina Challenge. So what do you want to 7 straight wins, I think. What are you emphasizing to the squad moving forward? How can you guys continue to improve, whether it's Margarita and Federica together in that one pair, Lena Bernier and Gina Lipscomb right behind them? What do you want to see improved upon in this off week?
Just the consistency and the confidence of going in, knowing that you're going to win, and without doubt. You know, we're good enough to go in and take these next teams and just come back with just the loss that we had started with in the beginning of the season, and try to take that all the way through. We're a very good team, and they're fighters. You know, they're athletic. We just got to keep gaining our confidence, you know, so that when we go there, we end up with these 5 more wins.
It's funny you mentioned that loss a couple times. I get a feeling that the losses irritate more than maybe a win brings joy for a head coach. You remember that a little longer than the win.
Yes, it stung.
No doubt about it. You guys have responded just fine. 7-1 and looking good, undefeated in that home tournament this past weekend. Coach, always glad to have you with us. Appreciate you taking some time. That's Rita Buck-Crockett. I'm AJ Ricketts. Thank you for joining us on Facebook Live this afternoon. Swim and dive, 6 straight conference championships. FIU Beach 4-0 this past week, and a nice weekend for FIU Athletics. Basketball, too. Big win at Charlotte yesterday as the postseason approaches. AJ Ricketts, Rita Buck-Crockett, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Panther Talk Live. Make it a great week. Pause up, fam.